monster inside of me. You better watch out if your enemies are road ahead of full prophecy to be the greatest beast the world has ever seen. I feed him every day like the bones clean. I feed him all the hate and he grows me. And he gets claws real big, gets off quick. And if you cross him, you might drop dead. Metaphorically, of course, settling the score. Never getting bored, loves of blood and gold. Always wanting more freedom from the source. They don't really understand until they feel the force of hard in. If you start shit, you be heartless in the darkness. Torn apart quick, you left scars ripped. You be chewed up and discarded. And this world ain't right, won't accept it. Negative energy, I expect it. Once it's in your mind, it's infectious. So fight for your life and reject it. You better give me space, I'm protective. My adrenaline spikes when I'm threatened. And if you stay in my way, I'm aggressive. Cause when there's no exit, I'll kill when I'm desperate. When there's no exit, I'll kill when I'm desperate. And this world ain't right, won't accept it. Negative energy, I expect it. Once it's in your mind, it's infectious. So fight for your life and reject it. You better give me space, I'm protective. My adrenaline spikes when I'm threatened. And if you stay in my way, I'm aggressive. Cause when there's no exit, I'll kill when I'm desperate. When there's no exit, I'll kill when I'm desperate.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Race Spec Esports. It is the penultimate round. Well, sort of the penultimate round. We are going for round, I think it's round 11, but we've only done 10 with a missing Silverstone somewhere in between. But welcome, guys. We are here at Race Spec Esports. It is Slammer on the mic tonight. I'm filling in for the main man, Noah, who has got a bit of a family to get to tonight. So I thought I'd step in and see if we can bring this to life. G'day, Cher. How are you, mate? Uncommon race, but yes, it is very uncommon. Noah, unfortunately, has other things to do today, so I thought I'd jump in and give the lads a bit of a help out. So we are at Catalunya. We are at Catalunya. We're going to have 14 drivers in. There's 13 currently on the grid. 14th is Plebs himself, who is trying to reinstall the game after having a couple of issues last week. But I think we're starting to get some people out on track. What do you reckon? Do we get out there and have a bit of a look-sies? Let's do so. We are out on track. Our first one is Zach. Hopefully, let me know if it's coming through all right, guys. Where's the sound? Need some sound. So the first of the outlaps has started. Zach is going to be the man taking us out on this lap. Let's see. I've got to fix that a bit. Sorry, guys. Let me just fix that track map so I can see the whole thing. There we go. That's better. Nice big fat track map for you all. Except for game audio. I think it's there. I don't think I can pump it up any more than what I can. Let me see. audio somewhere. Sound mixer. Hopefully that's better. Let me know if that's better, Cher. I can certainly hear it, but hopefully you guys can as well. And yeah, we've got our first lap in anger. It's going to be Zach who's going to take us around this Catalunya circuit. A little bit of a twisty one, shitty on the tyres. Luckily we haven't got those stupid marbles this time round. But if you keep your eye on the bottom right hand side, we can see the turn numbers as we go through. Chu, what sort of time are we looking for tonight? Let me know. What sort of time are we looking for pole? We've got some El Rapido people out there, a couple of OFI guys. Hopefully you guys have started your practice for next week. Round 3 and 4 coming to you from Zandvoort and Monza. But before we get to that, we are here at Catalunya. Let's get on board. Oh shit, that is loud. 11-3 says Chur. Alright. Well, let's see how Zach goes around for his first time. Oh, it gets a little bit squiggly coming out of turn number 12. Comes through 13, now 14, the final corner. Trying to hug the inside, take it out as wide as you can, make your way across the line. And the very first one is a 12.9 for Mr. Zach. Who we got next one? I think the next one's going to be Spicy. He's on his out lap. Apollo Pepsi's going to be the next one to come around. Let's see how Pepsi goes. Keep an eye up there on those sector times. It's only comparative to his. So we'll see how he goes as he makes his way through. Oh no, that's got to be invalid. Surely that's invalid. Yeah, I think he's pulled the pin a little bit there. And he will say sayonara to that one. Who's going to be the next one? We've got, I think that's an Aston Martin. No, that's number 5. Number 4 it says. There we go. It's the Aston Martin of Contrast. So he will now go around to set his first lap in anger. As he gets through the final turn, makes his run to the line and puts himself up to the top with a 12.2. Bags with a 14. Not indicative for Mr. Bags, that is for sure. Spicy's going to be the next one to make his way around. Oh, does he invalidate? That new track map doesn't tell me if they've invalidated or not. Well, he certainly didn't, because that's an 11.8. He goes 4/10 quicker than everyone else. And he sits at the top of the timing charts. Bags is done. Who's in P13? He's on an out lap. P8, that's Apollo Pepsi. He's going to be the next one who's going to be on a lap in anger. It's that beautiful Alpine. No, he's a little bit behind, I think. So he might be going again. I think he'd be going again. Let's see how Ferrari Pro goes as he now makes his way around this final sector. Hopefully no invisible bumps. We've got one just about there somewhere. Send the car into Narnia. As Ferrari Pro puts himself now up to the top of the timing charts with an 11.603. 3/10 off Chur's prediction of an 11.3. I think ACW will be the last one to make his way around. Oh no, we've got Crichton on a lap as well, but he's a little bit further behind. Spicy might be coming in, so let's see how ACW goes. Past champion here at Race Spec. And ACW makes his run to the line, puts himself up onto the provisional front row of the grid. Big L in the synonymous Williams. He now makes his way around. I've got a feeling we're going to have all of these guys in the 11s by the time we're done. I can tell you Mr. Morgan's looking forward to having a chat to this guy next week. As Big L now makes his way across, puts himself up into P4, so nice little banker for him. Crichton will be the next one to make his way around, as he makes his way through the final sector in that beautiful Mercedes. Oh, gets a little bit squiggly on the exit of 12. Makes his way through 13 into 14 now. The final turn. Keeps it in, and he will put himself up onto the second row. The last one now to settle that will be Verk. Let's get on board with him as he makes his way through the final sector. So a little bit of a tricky one through 7 and 8 here. You've got to watch that. Well, it turns into the inside sausage curb. And you've got to watch out you don't wash out too wide here. Sometimes you can get caught with a little bit of oversteer as well. Now the tricky traction zone out of 10. And very easy to lose the rear here. Got to be very gentle on the throttle. But at the same time, you've got to make sure you get the beautiful run now through the last 3 turns, which are pretty much flat out all the way through. Hug the inside, clip the apex. Make your way through into the final turn. You don't want to be lifting, and he doesn't. And he makes his run down to the line. No, it's a little bit behind. But he's got a lap. That's all that counts. How's the Pepsi man looking? So we got a yellow flag in Sector 3. Who would that be? I'm assuming it's going to be Crichton. Who slowed down? Maybe, maybe not. So Polo Pepsi now, trying to get his first lap in. As he makes his way down to the DRS zone, coming into turn number 10. Nice overtaking opportunity around this circuit in turn 10. Turn 1 and 10 are your 2 main ones, that's for sure. Right at the end of the DRS zones, gets a little bit squiggly on the exit there of 12. Managed to gather his thoughts, and now pounding it all the way down to the start-finish line. Runs out of a little bit of deployment there, but puts himself up into P7. Midas on an outlap. Who is the next one? I think Contrast. Is he going again? He is. He's 3 tenths up, nearly 4 tenths up. That's how he goes. He's going to make it into the 11s. He certainly does. 11.949 for Contrast. And what's Verk doing? He will be the next one round, but he comes into the pits. Spicy. On an outlap. As Verk retires. He's done. Let's see if we can. I just want to turn the sound down a little bit though, because it's bloody loud in my ear. Alright, let's get on board with the spicy one. Very important to get turn 1 and 2 as right as possible. Hug the inside now as you make your way through turn number 3, and now we get into some slippery parts of the track. Just a little bit down on his previous best. 0.02 of a second down. Makes his way up into turn number 5. Oh, has a little bit of a snap there of oversteer. Double snap there. Through 6 flat out, which isn't really a turn, and then 7, which can get a little bit gnarly for some people, especially shit ones like me. Now flat chat through 9. Again, a little touch of oversteer. Now Spicy makes his way into turn number 10. Oh, there it is again. Snap, snap, snap. A little bit pointies this car for Spicy tonight. I think he might be pulling the pin on this one, and maybe he will reset to go again. He will go again. Oh no, he's going to set a time. And the time will be half a second off his previous best as he just pulls the pin on that one. Crichton's on an outlap. Who's that? That's Zach. Let's see how Zach goes. Who put that pit wall there? Is that what it was, Verk, you poor bastard? I was thinking what was going on. I wasn't on board with it. Sorry, mate. It's been there for a while, but hasn't really moved too much in the past. Who else have we got on a lap? I think Midas. Is he still pushing? He may be. No, into the pits he comes. Who's next? Bargerman. Well, Verk, you'll be starting 13th, mate. And if Pleb makes it, it might be 14th. If he doesn't make it, well, you might be hearing him in the comms box with me later on. Who knows? This Bargerman now makes his way through the final sector into the last turn, hugging the inside there. Running out of a little bit of battery power up into P5 goes the Bargerman. Simo's going to be the next one to cross the line. He's still got a little bit of juice behind the scenes there, but only good enough for a P11. What's Spicy doing into the pits? He is. And we've got Crichton now. See if he can improve on his .960. Still got a little bit of time to make up. Oh, he certainly does. 11.4. So Crichton says, thank you very much. I'll take that spot. Crichton now sitting in provisional pole with 5 minutes to go. Still a tenth off what Chur reckons is going to be our pole time. Low. I said low to mid. Well, that's a low to mid. That's definitely a low to mid. So you're on the spot there, but then you've tightened it up a bit, giving me an 11.3. So I think we'll take that 3. What's Bargerman doing? I think he might be coming in. Yeah, I think Bargerman's in for that one. How's Big Al looking? Big Al might be coming in as well, or is he? Yeah, I think Big Al's coming into the pits. I think Simo's going to be the next one on the lap. And he comes into the pits as well. So we're all done, all dusted. In for the last set of tyres. Last couple of little tweaks. And maybe, just maybe, we'll add a bit of a run to that pole position. Provisionally set by Crichton now with a 1:11.467. It is the calm before the storm. Who's the tip, guys? I can tell you who it won't be. It won't be Verk. Sorry, mate, but it's pretty clear. It won't be you. Oh, dear. All right. First couple coming out. Contrast is coming out. Polo Pepsi, he's on an outlap, is he? He most certainly is. As we strike down to 3 minutes and 30 seconds, Apollo Pepsi, let's get on board with him. What do you reckon? Let's watch the full lap from the Pepsi man. Flying down into turn number 1. Got to get that braking point absolutely spot on. Make sure you hit both those apexes of turn 1 and 2, and then manage to keep it on the inside coming through turn number 3. Not lifting there, that is for sure. We come now into turn number 4, and again another one which can be a little bit tricky. Sometimes suffer from a little bit of understeer there, as the camber of the track does seem to change a little bit, as it does here now through turn number 7. We can get a little bit snappy here sometimes as well. Manages to negotiate it just beautifully. As Pepsi now makes his way up into the second DRS zone. Keep an eye on that time, top right hand corner, as he makes his way through the second sector. 800ths of a second up, nearly 900ths of a second up on his previous best, so hopefully a little bit of improvement coming for Apollo Pepsi, as now he makes his way through the last couple of turns, foot to the floor all the way through. Risk it for the biscuit. Oh, jeepers, I thought that arse end was going to go see you later there, and it didn't. And although he did have a 4/10 improvement, just manages to go up by a single spot. Now, Contrast is up by just under a tenth as well. Seems to be pretty popular as we come through the second sector. I do recall on the previous game, no point going out right at the end, because it's almost like the track deteriorated, but might be a little bit different on this game, as now Contrast makes his way through the last of the turns, makes his run to the line. Can he beat his 9.49? He most certainly can. It's an 8.68. And Contrast now puts himself up into P number 6. I think Zach's going to be the next one on a lap in anger to cross one, so he's got a little bit of traffic to negotiate as well, just ahead of him. He's got the Alpine. So let's see how Zach goes. Where is he? Yeah, just gets it past Spicy. And there he goes past Crichton. And now he hopefully gets a little bit of free space to be able to make it, as Plebs has made it into the lobby. Welcome, Plebs. Hopefully you get a lap in, mate. Don't forget your setup. Can't say how much time's left. I don't think there'd be much. 53 seconds? Nah, you're starting at the back. Sorry, Sunshine. As Zach now makes his way, run to the line up into, well, P12 for Zach. Crichton is just starting a lap. How is ACW starting his? Apollo Pepsi's coming into the pits. Who's number 6? That'll be Contrast. He'll be coming into the pits as well. Bargerman, he's on his out lap. Bags on his out lap. So the next one on a lap in anger will be Simo. And the lovely kicks Alba into the final sector. And Simo now, as the clock strikes down. Oh, it's just disappeared on me. But Simo, does he make an improvement? A little bit of an improvement in time, but not in places. Ferrari Pro is going to be the next one. He's currently the closest to Crichton. Ferrari Pro crosses the line, puts himself up into the top, 0.06 of a second faster than Crichton. Big L now puts himself up onto the front row of the grid provisionally. The next one will be Spicy. How's Spicy looking? He's a quarter of a second up. That quarter of a second will get him into the 0.6s. Should put him on the provisional second row. And he puts him up onto the first row of the grid. Next one will be ACW, who is up on his time. He puts himself up into P number 5. Crichton has abandoned that one. He's into the pits. Bargerman will cross the line, and Bargerman improves to a 0.704. Bags comes into the pits, and that is all she wrote. Done and dusted. Ferrari Pro up into pole position. A few movers and shakers right at the end there. And Crichton, who was holding on to it for the majority of it, did manage to lose out right at the end. As Ferrari Pro takes pole position, Spicy up onto the front row with him. Big L, P3, joined by Crichton on the second row. ACW, Bargerman, Bags, High Contrast, Apollo Pepsi, Midas, Simo, Zach, Verk finding walls, and Plevs just managing to make it into the lobby. Just enough time to get started. He'll be starting from P14. Verk on the inters. Did you do an inters lap, Verk, and lost it? I hope that's not true. Looks like that might be the case. Alrighty. Well, here we go. Weather's looking all right. We'll wait until we're out there and we'll see what the weather says. Any predictions, lads? Oops. It was an 11.4, if I'm not mistaken. It's a 0.4 from Ferrari Pro. Not far off at all. Your first guess, low, mid 11, that was spot on. I'm pretty sure it was a 0.4. That could be wrong. No, yes. No, yes. Plebs, don't forget your setup. Don't forget your setup, plebs, if you're listening. Let's see if we're going to have some rain in Spain, which will fall gently down the main. So we can see the Red Bull garage there. Midas and Zach sharing that first pit box. It's just taking a little bit too much time for my liking. What's going on? What's going on here? Do we have any weather yet? I don't think that's right. It's not right yet. We'll wait until it updates. We've got to wait till they get out on track. We'll see what the weatherman's got to say. If Jane Bunn's going to be nice or not. This is taking a long time. There we go. We are ready to rumble. We are 4 lights, 5 red lights, and we are off. It is Ferrari Pro that gets the beautiful start off the line there. Big L, though, absolutely swarms it through, and he's put himself straight up to the front. Manages to jump both Ferrari Pro and Spicy as we get a little bit of a lag issue. So now we come through turn number 2, and it is Big L who will lead us out, and that was a Ferrari Pro that went absolutely straight on. What on earth happened there? And we have a safety car straight up. Guys, I don't know if you saw that in the background, but I certainly did. There was a Ferrari that literally went straight on. I have a sneaking suspicion we might be a equipment or a technical issue there. But what a start there from Big L. Absolutely monsters them. Let's see. Has it got anything to do with tyres? He's up 2 spots. What tyres did he start? He started on the medium, so he did have the best of the tyres to start with. Bargerman also on the medium. So I've got 4 of them. Big L, Bargerman, Apollo Pepsi, and Simo all starting on the mediums. Everyone else on the hards. Ferrari Pro, unfortunately, he's going to have to come in and needs a bit of a rhinoplasty there. A bit of nose surgery to get that one all fixed up and ready to continue on in the race. As we saw in qualifying, he's definitely got the pace to be able to catch up, but he's got a few cars to pass now. If we have a look at our movers and shakers, Big L up a couple, Crichton up a couple. We've got oh jeepers, lots of people into the pits. Okay, right. Are they all the hard? Are they all the medium runners? No. So there's contact everywhere. Jesus Christ Almighty. Yeah, okay. Might have had a couple of issues there. What do we got? We've got nose jobs going around left, right and centre. There's another one. Yeah, alright. So a bit of damage central as we made our way through the very first of laps here as we are on the safety car. Let's have a bit of a look-see at the weather. What do we got? Light cloud turning into overcast, so doesn't seem to be too much of a threat of rain. And we are on lap 2 of 33. And a few guys on those medium tyres. They've already had to make a stop. Unfortunately for them, those mediums aren't lasting until the end. So they'll need to come in again. They'll be on pretty much the same strategy as everyone else. While we're at it, let's... Oh no, not that one. Let's bring that one up. Let's bring that one up. There we go. Lovely. So we'll just wait now for Zach and Ferrari Pro to catch up. We might be going around one more time. Just keep an eye on the race director, see if they're going to bring us in. Will they bring the safety car in now? No, they won't. We'll go around one more time. Very interesting start. So we've had, what is it, 6 cars? 6 cars into the pits. Bit of a nose job. And this will be the last lap under safety car, I would assume. Especially the guys on the hards will be struggling to try and get some heat into those tyres. Well, they haven't had any heat in them in the first place, so these things will be ice cold. That is for sure. Let's have a look. Under safety car, Spicy's going to be leading us out. Crichton will just be sitting on his rear there, just trying to keep an eye on when he decides to pull the pin. Still waiting for the race director to tell Bert Mylander to come in. Are the lights out? No, the lights are still on. It'd be pretty cool if we could ride on board with the safety car too. That'd be fun. Right, We'll get to start again. This time, a bit of a rolling start. Let's see, safety car coming in. When does it tell us? A little bit later on this, I think. There's the safety car gone. Alright, so we will be going again. As you can see on the track map there, the safety car has gone off into the distance. Spicy Salami turns into the safety car for this restart. Let's keep an eye on, well, we can see ACW there just having a little bit of a sniff up the inside already. He's ready to pounce, that is for sure. Crichton right up the backside there of Spicy. Has Spicy pulled the trigger? I think he has, and we are off and racing once we cross the start-finish line. We certainly have. And we are off in single file once again, this time a little bit cleaner as we just ride on board with ACW. As he just, oh, we can see the McLaren there of Bargerman having a bit of a sneaky look up the inside of Crichton. Now he's right on his diffuser. We can see the battery regenerating there, and it looks like Bargerman's going to look to try and pounce as Big L's made his way past Verk. As now it is ACW gets up the inside of Bargerman again and manages to take P3 is through a little bit of swapsy. So Bargerman's looking very, very racy, that is for sure. And right up the back there of ACW, so it's going to be the Ferrari and the McLaren. We're going to be punching it out a little bit, but all in the meantime, Spicy has gone sayonara early doors, and Spicy on those hard tyres already 9/10 of a second ahead. Crichton just behind, just trying to stave off ACW behind him, and Bargerman who's sitting there. So we do have a train of 14 vehicles as we make our way through the first fully completed lap under green flag conditions. As we have a little bit of a change at the bottom. Is that Midas who's gone a little bit astray? He may have. Where is he? Just managing to find his way back on track. As DRS has now been enabled. So Midas with a little bit of an issue, falling right off the back here. ACW having a big look up the inside there. Bargerman, sorry, a big look on the inside of ACW and gets the job done. So it is the McLaren of Bargerman, like we said before, looking very racy. We've got a little bit of action going, a little bit in the midfield, as we can see Big L has made the move up on Apollo, Pepsi and Bags now as they make their way up into turn number 6 with the shittest camera, or probably the second shittest camera angle the game's got. So all very nice and comfortable for now as we go line of stern, eye contrast in the Aston Martin. Just keeping in check there with ACW. He's seen the guys ahead have a little bit of a battle, and he's just going to stick in there for a bit and hopefully for his sake pounce when the opportunity arises. Crichton has now made up a little bit of that 9/10 gap that he did have lost there to Spicy, now within half a second. And let's see, is Crichton going to take full advantage of the DRS zone coming down the start-finish straight now, right up the bloody diffuser of him as they make their way into turn number 1. He's going to have to stick behind here. Not too many passing opportunities until we get through into the second DRS zone. At the same time, don't make any mistakes because there's going to be people looking to pounce behind. That's for sure. It's Crichton now. It's right on board with him as he makes his way through turn 5. It gets a little bit squiggly coming out of the exit there. Into, well, 6 is nothing, but 7 is where it can get all astray for a few people. Manages to negotiate it beautifully. He can stick up his arse end here. He might get a run coming into turn number 10 under DRS. Flicks open that rear wing. Yeah, not long enough in the straight there. Has a little bit wide into 11. Into 10 and 11, sorry. And now he probably won't be close enough, half a second behind. Let's see how much he makes up under DRS. Keep an eye on that time there. 5/10 of a second. Half a second at the start of the straight. Let's see what it is by the end as he gets to manage to open up that rear wing. Makes his run, and look at this. Absolutely chomped him. Chomped him to pieces. See you later. Thanks for coming. And Crichton will take the lead Bargerman also got the job done there on Spicy as well, so no DRS, no bueno on that start-finish straight, that is for sure. Getting absolutely pasted with the overspeed, and now Spicy will get his chance hopefully to have a bit of a crack at it, as we can see a little bit of a battle going on in the midfield. Big L has made the move there on Bags, or on Contrast, sorry, so Contrast just dropping down a couple of spots. Bags manages to make his way through, and now Big L's going to look to try and just maintain that little bit of a gap as we have a bit of a punch on still going on between Contrast and Bags. So this one's going to be one for the ages, that's for sure. Contrast and Bags, with Ferrari Pro looking to recover as they both cars have a bit of a look up the inside. Bags and Contrast side by side. Nice clean racing for here, and it is as close as they don't want to be, that is for sure. They make their way into turn number 13, manage to sort themselves out, and it is Plebs who's made his way up. Contrast into 8th, Bags into 9th, and Ferrari Pro into 10th as they get outcome 2 wide. 3 wide, could it be 4 wide as they come into the first turn? Like Noah's Ark, they come through 2 by 2, and Bags manages to make the run there, and he puts himself up into P7, and now the guys will need to work a little bit together to try and catch up to Big L, who's just managed to get ahead of him, and he's having a bit of a look-sees there at Simo and gets the job done with the shit camera angle. There it is as they come through turn 5 side by side. The Big L, job done for him, up into P5, and still with the train ahead. Bags still trying to make up that little gap, still got a 10th and a half to make up to try and get within DRS, otherwise he is going to be absolutely slammed. G'day Chromad, how are you sunshine? It is Bargerman up top, mate, looking absolutely lovely on those medium tyres though, so definitely has got the better of the conditions for this part of the race. I'm not sure if it's going to be the same towards the end. It's a little bit of movement towards the back. You can see Verk and Apollo Pepsi having a little bit of a side by side. And Verk, after putting it into the wall through qualifying, starting at the back of the grid, just managing to make his way up. Plebs, who didn't qualify at all, already up into P9. And that Visa Cash App RB thingamabobber, whatever car you want to call it. Danny Rick car. We'll just see what's happening back up the front of the grid. Spicy classic Verk, yeah, that's for sure, mate. It actually said that he was on Inters, so I hope, for his sake, we didn't try and go out and do an Inters lap and bin it into the pit wall. That'd be friggin' hilarious, but it'll be a Verk thing, that is for sure. As you can see, Bargerman's now dropped a couple of spots, and I think we're going to find this is going to be the same all the way through. We're going to ride on board with Bargerman, but it's ACW now. Ooh, had a bit of a sneaky look up to the inside of turn number 10, decided otherwise, thankfully, for both his and Bargerman's sake, but we will ride on Bargerman now as they make their way through the last couple of turns, and let's just see how powerful this DRS is. Crichton could be third by the end of this straight. Let's see how we go. Bargerman, Spicy, get that rear wing open. Crichton goes to the right, trying to break the toe. Maybe he had a bit too much of a run on him, and I don't think the guys are going to catch him. We can see him just flashing away, going into a little bit of conservation mode, and he manages to maintain his P1. So that's the first time I think I've seen that tonight, where the person without DRS has managed to maintain their position as they made their way into the first corner. But Bargerman is looking very, very racy. Let's have a look at our movers and shakers for now. G-Force, Crichton up 3. Bargerman up 3. We've got Big L, who's dropped a couple of spots after having to come into the pits. Simo up 5. Ferrari Pro, who went straight on into Narnia on the very first lap, causing the safety car. He's down 7, but he's up 6 after the restart. So he's looking very, very nice indeed. And ACW just having a little bit of a nitpick there at Bargerman. So these guys having a tremendous race. Big L's also involved in Simo too. So we have still got a train of 13 as we make our way through lap number 10 into turn number 13. A third of the way through we will be shortly, and it is absolutely flown by. But let's get on board with, we'll get on board with Bargerman. We'll get the perfect view of what Spicy's going to do. Spicy's going to say, see you later. Bargerman's going to say the same. No, decided to back out of it at the very last bit, and I think Crichton would have been sweating bullets a little bit there, because you would have seen that papaya covering up the inside, thinking, uh-oh, watch my side pod, sunshine. But yeah, he's too good to cause any issues there. Tucks in behind again, and they all live to fight another day. Verk has dropped out of DRS from Zach, so Apollo Pepsi's going to be right on his clacker, and he's going to want to try and make amends. And maybe if Verk can't get the job done and break back into the 1 second, then maybe Apollo Pepsi's going to have a bit of a crack at it himself. As we ride on board with Bags, and a little bit of a looksies there for Bags on Simo. That just tucks in himself, and these guys, as they make their way through turn number 10, almost a push. We've got a yellow flag. Is that Midas again? Maybe Midas. Could have been Apollo Pepsi. He's really dropped off. Zach's also dropped off as well, so maybe we've had some issues in the midfield there, as we can see a few of them now going side by side as they make their way through the last sector. And, oh no, this is going to be 3 wide. Don't do it, lads. Don't do it. Zach with the DRS manages to clear him. Plebs tucks in just behind him. The contrast behind him as well. So these guys, they're punching away, and all they're doing is managing to lose DRS. It's going to be on Simo now to try and break the 1 second gap for his sake and for everyone else's. He's managed to close it up there to Big L. It will be on Zach to do the same, but he's dropped off 2 seconds nearly. So he's going to be absolute fodder for the guys behind. Plebs is going to know. We'll be able to see it up in his little timing in the top left-hand corner, and let's watch Plebs go as they make their way through the second sector into turn number 9. DRS open once again for Plebs. Probably not going to have a look here. Not quite long enough, that little straight. So he'll just tuck in. He'll be able to see 1.9. No rear wing open for Simo. Oh, sorry, for Zach in the Red Bull. But there will be a rear wing open for Plebs. So we will ride on board with Plebs, because I think it is going to be an absolute laydown misère, as we can see Zach go wide. Plebs opens it up. Rear wing. Zach trying to break the toe. There ain't no breaking toe there, that is for sure. And Plebs gets in front. We can see Contrast also makes his way through. And at the same time, Ferrari Pro as well. So he's moved up into P9, and Zach dropping spots like they're going out of fashion. And he has dropped down into P10. Pleb's going to be the same sitting duck sooner or later, because he's going to want to try and make up that back into the DRS of the cars ahead as we go back to the front of the grid. We can see Bargerman still flying along. Crichton in P number 2. Spicy looking nicey in P3, and our top, our top 6 have broken away a little bit. Keep your eye though on the time Plebs has got, now within 2/10 of the cars ahead, and Plebs, he's on a run. He knows how important it is. Watch him absolutely smoke it. Within a tenth, within half a tenth nearly, and he's going to want to try and get within DRS on this straight. Maybe he's managed. Oh, I will love it for his sake if he's managed to do it. Let's have a look. Can we see? Oh, I can't really see it there, but I think it is DRS open, and he says see you later. Or maybe not. Didn't quite catch up anywhere near as much as what I thought he would, so maybe didn't quite get it open. Ferrari Pro now has got the job. He's going to need to try and make up that time to Plebs, and then we'll be back in order again, hopefully for these guys, their sake, a train of 12. As we just watch Ferrari Pro now as he makes his way through turn number 5. Again, keep your eye on the timing tower. 1.1 seconds needs to be within 1 second, that is for sure. Oh, he's managed to break into it. Did he do it before the activation zone? Let's have a look. Where is he? My colour blindness is killing me. I think he did get that rear wing open. As we can see him flashing away, so he's maybe had to use quite a bit of energy to try and break back within the second. And this is the important one. If he can make it at this point, he'll be flying. 0.93, 0.94, 0.95, 0.97. He does. gets that rear wing open, so he will breathe a sigh of relief as we've got our first pitters. Bargerman into the pits, lap 15. He'll take those medium tyres off. Look to get a little bit of an undercut on the rest of the field. He'll come out with some freshies, and let's see, will Crichton... Well, Crichton I don't think will respond. A little bit too early for him. Still got 18 laps to do. Maybe Simo, maybe Plevs. He'll be keeping an eye on that. He'll know. He'll definitely know that Bargerman has gotten rid of those medium tyres. Put on his hards. So we'll see who responds of the medium runners. Simo, Plevs and Ferrari Pro. It seems like Zach now has just dropped out, so really important for him. Maybe those medium tyres are starting to stink a little bit. Not being able to keep up with the hards. Contrast there on the hard tyres. Oh, so important that he makes it. Otherwise, he's going to be under the threat of Mr. Bags Liddell. And Bags manages to get that rear wing open. And let's see, I think... Well, maybe not quite the overspeed that I thought he'd have. But he does get to tuck in, and he will certainly have a bit of a nibble at him a little bit later on, provided he makes no mistakes from this point on. And he's got to watch out because he's got a hungry Verk behind him. After meeting the pit wall through qualifying, starting at the back of the grid, he's found his way up into P11. So it's about time, I think, for these medium runners to maybe come in. Bags within a second gets that rear wing open. Not really an opportunity here unless you're right up the diffuser of the car ahead. Just not quite long enough, that little DRS zone. Doesn't have too much of an impact, but the next one he most certainly will. And I reckon we ride on board with... should we ride on board with Verk, I reckon. And I reckon these both of these guys are just going to go, see ya. Let's see. Rear wing open is the first penalty. Polo Pepsi manages to get it, but no, Bags does not manage. Does not manage to get up to Zach, so not sure if there's a setup issue there or... Tyres, not sure what it is, but Zach's now dropped 2 seconds off the pace. So Bags is going to have to make that up in some way, shape or form. Is it going to be through the pit stops or is it going to be through pure racing? Who knows? We'll just keep our eye on this little battle. Actually, before we do, we can see our top 6, top 7, actually top 8. So Contrast has managed to find his way into there as well. And that's all due to the great work of Plevs before managing to get back within DRS of the guys ahead. As we just go choo-choo train as we make it through the halfway point of the race. We are on the 17th of 33 tours of this Catalunya circuit. As Contrast gets the job done there on Ferrari Pro. So maybe those tyres are just starting to drop off a little bit. Oh no, Ferrari Pro's into the pits. Well, there you go. That'll do it. So Ferrari Pro's decided to take them off. He'll get back onto those hard tyres I think that he started with, that may be a lap old or half a lap after going for a little bit of an excursion. We can see Contrast having a bit of a look at Plevs, goes up the inside. Both of them maintain their position nicely, but Contrast does manage to get the job done, and he tucks in ahead of Plevs just behind Simo. Not too much time lost to the rest of them, and we are still travelling away. Our top 7 now in the train. Crichton leading us out. Spicy Salami in P2, ACW in P3, and Big L just chilling there in P4. Simo may be a little bit of a tyre whisperer today. But we are set for a very interesting finish, that is for sure. As we have another one peel into the pits, or another 3 into the pits. So a couple of the hard runners as well. Very interesting. So Simo and Plebs are staying out on those mediums. I wonder if they're going to look to go for a bit of a soft run to finish it off. That could make it very interesting. But Simo now, he's going to want to try and make up that gap to Big L, and Big L is going to want to try and just escape off into the distance. And as per normal, the pit stops have really thrown a spanner in the works, turned the whole race upside down. Our top 5, well, Big L, Plevs and Bags have all pitted, albeit it was on lap 1 under safety car. Verk and Simo have yet to pit, but I think they all need to come in. Unless, of course, Big L decides that he wants to try and make it all the way home. Because I'm sure he's certainly pit, hasn't he? Yes, he has. So it's only Simo and Verk that have yet to pit that still need to make a mandatory stop, as does Midas. This could be interesting. All right, so a couple of options up here for the lads. As Plevs makes his way in. Simo, Bags. Oh, no. Plevs with the pen. And, yeah, that's not nice. 10 seconds worth of Plevs speeding. Going too fast, sir. Too fast, too fast. And it is the soft tyres there for Simo. So, the order gets flipped a little bit, but at the end of the day, it is Crichton who has come out in, well, I'm not even going to say he's not even the, not even our net leader, because Al stopped. Now, I'm not sure these guys will make up the 18 seconds in the 13 laps that we've got left. They're going to be considerably quicker, that is for sure. But, yeah, 18 seconds over 13 laps? I'm not too sure. All the work's going to get done here while the tyres are so much better than what Big L's are ahead. So this is where Crichton needs to put all the work in. And the last thing that these guys need is to be battling. So they should be taking full advantage of each other's batteries and rear wings. Try and close the gap there to Big L. We will check in with that in a second. It's 17, just under 18, 17 and a half seconds. Contrast dropping out of DRS there from Bargerman, who has come out on those 5-lap-old now hard tyres. Plev's looking to sit in behind as well, so albeit he's going to be in a bit of trouble with that 10-second penalty, which nobody likes. We all hate them. And, yeah, I'm not sure Crichton's making up the amount of time that he needs to make up. As we can see, it's ACW and Spicy just a little bit side by side as they make their way into turn number 4. No battling, guys. Shouldn't be doing it. Not at this point. Catch up to the big fella ahead. And Big L. Tell you what Big L doesn't want, though. One of those dreaded SCs. Albeit he might be able to come in, get the tyres changed and come back out again and still have the lead. But touch wood, we don't get any of those. Now down to 16 and a bit seconds with 11 laps to go. So Crichton now leading out the little train, leading Spicy from ACW. From Ferrari Pro, Bargerman has dropped off a little bit, 1.8 seconds behind. Contrast on some fresh medium tyres, and Plevs, who's just pumped in the fastest lap on the freshest of the tyres, as he now puts himself up into P number 7, and he'll look to hunt down the rest of them. He'll try and take Contrast as soon as possible, and then do everything he possibly can to bridge that 2.2 second gap. You want to get it within 1. So he's still in the big dance at the end of this race, and the big dance is currently being led by Big L, who could himself become the tyre whisperer today. Yes, 20 lap old hard tyres, but he did make his mandatory pit stop at the end of lap 1 under safety car. So he doesn't really need to stop again. He'll just ride with Plebs for a bit as he tries to catch up to eye contrast. Both just conserving a little bit of battery, but I don't think it's going to be much of a struggle here. I think Plebs is going to say see you later very, very quickly, and there he is, pulls up the inside. Nothing eye contrast can do about that one, and yeah, Plebs now puts and moves himself up into P6 after starting from the back of the grid because he had to reinstall his game. So now we are down to 15.25 seconds with 10 laps to go. I don't think it's enough. They've only made up 3 seconds in the last 3 laps. If they're going to make up the second lap from here, it's all L. So maybe Crichton's going to look to try and have a bit of a run at him as well. These guys, hopefully, for their sake, they're all going to be working together. Crichton now through the second of the DRS zones between turns number 9 and 10. There's 4 cars now hunting down Big L. We'll see Crichton now use that rear wing DRS to try and propel himself forward and just bridge the gap a little bit. 14.3, 14.2, 14.3 seconds as the rear wing opens up, and it's going to be both Crichton and ACW who's going to look to make the move. Bags picks up the fastest lap. Crichton up into P2. ACW now slots himself up into P3, and Spicy has to sit in P4 now, but these guys should be working together, like we said, and it's out to 13.8, 13.9 seconds. I don't think they make it. I really don't think they make it. This Plebs has been overtaken by Contrast again, down that start-finish straight. So these guys swapping positions under DRS at will. 9 laps to go at the end of this one, 13 seconds. Big L, there ain't no way he's stopping now. Can't see it happening. Tyres, those hard tyres on this game will last forever and ever and ever, especially around this track. They just don't seem to degrade one little iota. We started with 14, we continue with 14 as we ride on board now ACW on Crichton, and as they make their way into the final sector, as we have a yellow flag in sector 2. Is that the McLaren of Verk maybe having a bit of an issue? I'm not sure. But ACW, easy peasy, and Spicy I think is also going to have a crack. No, he just manages to slot in as G-Force. Crichton closes the gate. Absolutely shuts the door on him, says, you ain't getting past here, mate. I'll let one through, I ain't letting another one. As both Contrast and Plebs still battling it out as they make their way through turn number 4. And it's Contrast who just maintains the advantage through turn 5. Plebs just sits in behind Bargerman, looking to have a bit of a... How's it doing? As Apollo Pepsi picks up a 10-second penalty. Is that going to be a pit and quit? Hope not. Want to see you all finish tonight, lads. So Pepsi will put those soft tyres on. Look to take a fastest lap towards the end with 8 to go. Eight laps, 12 seconds. Ain't happening. So this one is for Big L to lose. Crichton, though, he's going to look to try and make up his position into P2 from P3, and Spicy also just so powerful under DRS on this track. It's just not funny. The super OP'd DRS with the non-existent dirty air just makes it no-brainer. You're always going to be close enough to get that move done down the start-finish straight, especially at a track like this, and there are quite a few others as well on the calendar where it seems to happen, but these 4 are battling it out for the last 2 spots on the podium. You can see, though, now it is down into 11 seconds with 7 to go at the end of this one. So it's a 4-second delta on the amount of laps left. We'll just see now Bargerman on Plev. So Plev's don't think he's going to be able to make up that time to Ferrari Pro to be able to join the leaders for the battle for the podium positions. But Plev's with that 10-second penalty, he will plummet down to probably P11, which is not very good for him. As we just jump on board with Ferrari Pro now. So these guys, a great little battle. As Spicy has a bit of a look up the inside, decides against it, and Crichton manages to maintain P2. 11.5 seconds though to our leader in Big L. We'll just see what's happening a little bit further down the grid. Give a little love to the guys behind. So Simo on those soft tyres in P9. Zach, who was looking really good early doors, P10 in that Red Bull. Bags, who must have had an issue, because he was up there punching out with the rest of them, but might have to ask him what's going on. What happened a little bit later on. Verk now in a little bit of no man's land, 10 seconds ahead of him, 22 seconds behind him. Midas, he's got 32 seconds, he's got a lot of time ahead of him and a bit of time behind him. And Apollo Pepsi, he's having fun. Has he been lapped? He most certainly has been. Is he going to try and get his spot back? Should hope not. As we do get a little bit of ghosting, it goes straight through him. I can't see Big L being too happy about that one. But those soft tyres of Polo Pepsi, you can see he's running last, but he's absolutely flying on those soft tyres, and probably best for Big L not to get too involved with this one. He's 11 seconds ahead with 5 laps to go. So a bit of a tactical masterstroke here from Big L. Getting onto those hard tyres very, very early, and he will see it home. 5 to go at the end of this one. Let's see how these guys are checking in. Linus Stern, Crichton from Spicy Salami from ACW, from Ferrari Pro, further 2 seconds back is Plev's. Contrast right on his clacker, but we can see him having to conserve a little bit of energy to maybe make a run. And for his sake, he wants to be within a second, and he has just managed to do so. I'm not sure if he will on the next straight. Let's have a look. Contrast 1.1 seconds. Really, really, really needs to be within a second there. Otherwise, Bargerman's going to absolutely swamp him. Keep an eye on that time. Keep an eye on that rear wing. I think they've passed the detection zone. And he does just manage to get it open. Contrast will be absolutely wrapped with that, as we've got a little bit of movement up ahead. Crichton now dropping a couple of spots, as we've seen so often tonight on that start-finish straight. Spicy now taking P2, ACW into P3, and Crichton into P4. Still 10 seconds to Big L ahead, 10 seconds ahead on 27-lap-old hard tyres, having come in on the second lap to swap them over. I think he had some damage as well, but if we get a chance, we'll ask him later on. And unfortunately, 4 drivers into 2 podium spots does not go, so it'll be on. And we'll see who's going to play the tactical and the strategic masterstroke as we come to the completion of lap 29 of 33. It is Big L now. They've just broken within 10 seconds, but they're going to run out of time to catch him. Their race is for P2 and P3, and Spicy now half a second ahead of ACW. Is it going to be enough? Ferrari Pro, ACW, the 2 Ferraris both having a little bit of a nibble. One pulls up to the outside. That was Ferrari Pro. Oh, as we could see, Crichton just managed and jostles for position. Crichton and ACW just having a little bit of a battle there for P3 and 4, side by side as they come through turns 2 and 3. And I reckon Ferrari Pro is going to want to get involved. I hope these guys' tyres don't hook. Ferrari Pro now coming up on the inside of Crichton, does not manage to make it stick, and Crichton into P4, ACW P3, and Spicy, he's loving watching these guys battling behind because it just makes his life that little bit easier. With 3 laps to go at the conclusion of this one, still all to play for these 4, that is for sure. Spicy from ACW, from Crichton, from Ferrari Pro. Just throw the names up and see how they land at the end, because we're going to be in for a bit of a stonker of a finish. As Ferrari Pro now has a little bit of a nibble there on Crichton. He knows he can't get the job done here, but he's going to have the overspeed. They're both going to have DRS, rear wing open, maybe the slipstream here from Ferrari Pro. Tucks in right up the diffuser there of Crichton. Has he got the overspeed? No. Oh, feints to look up the inside, then goes to the outside. Crichton was all over it though, shut the gate on him. And these guys will need to fight another day. Great driving there, good attack, good defence from the two drivers. Fantastic to see. As ACW now, was Crichton, he's defending, but he's also doing his own attacking, because ACW, so these guys are looking behind and ahead of him. The only one not looking ahead, Spicy, I reckon, because he knows the gap with 2 laps to go at the end of this one's just it's just too far. They ain't catching Big L. Big L's pulled off a tactical masterstroke here. Can these guys do the same? They all pitted at relatively the same time. I think Ferrari Pro was the first one to come in after having big issues off the start line. Manages to go straight on, still survives. And now fighting for a podium as Apollo Pepsi picks up a pen. 3 seconds for too many indiscretions. And let's see now, has ACW, will he get his rear wing open? He most certainly will. We're right on board as he makes the run up on Spicy Salami to start lap 32, the penultimate lap. He has a bit of a look up the inside, and yeah, he's too wide. Spicy does defend it well. At the same time, Crichton was looking to try and take full advantage. Doesn't manage to do so, and they're going to basically get 1.5 more shots at it. So it's these 4 battling it out for the last 2 podium spots. Plebs, with all his battling ahead, has just managed to creep within 1.6 seconds. I don't think it's going to be enough though. Certainly not for DRS. Contrast is just sitting in behind. He knows if he doesn't pass, he'll still get that spot on Plebs. So it's a P7 there for Contrast. But on this penultimate lap, ACW now manages to look up the inside. Crichton also having a bit of a look 3 wide as we come into turn number 10. They're all flashing away under battery. Ferrari Pro is looking to try and take advantage. Now they come 2 by 2 through turn number 12 into 13. Now 3 wide through 13. Let's see how these guys are going to sort themselves out. They come 2 by 2 and it is Crichton. Oh, jeepers. They're all involved. And look who's joined the party. Plebs has joined the party, and it is now 6 cars making their way down the start-finish straight for this final lap. 3 wide through turn 1, 3 by 3. It's Spicy and Ferrari Pro battling it out. ACW having a little bit of a look. Crichton is the big loser out of that, and Plebs has come out of absolutely nowhere with Contrast. We're not going to take our eyes off this little battle, guys. It's not a little battle. It's a punch on of all ages, and it is Ferrari Pro who just manages to lead us out. Spicy, can he make any indent there from ACW as well, as Verk picks up the fastest lap on a fresh set of softs, but all the action is here. ACW hunting down Spicy. Crichton looking to have a little bit of a nibble as well. Plebs, maybe, I don't think you can get those pens, those 10 seconds removed, but who knows, unless he was pushed over the line. But now Spicy has a bit of a look up the inside, but let's go. It is Big L who's taken the lead. How are we going to look for P2? These guys are going to make their way around the final couple of turns. It is going to be Ferrari Pro to make his way across in P2. Spicy in P3. ACW in 4th. And Crichton in 5th. Bargerman in the train in 6th. Contrast in the train in 7th. And a further 2 seconds back is Simo. Jeepers creepers. That all kicked off at the end there. I'm not sure if there's some chicken going on, but it is going to be Big L from Ferrari Pro, from Spicy. Jeepers. What an end. What a race. Great clean racing. Absolutely fantastic to watch. As Verk now makes his way around the final turn, and I'm pretty sure he's managed to lock in that fastest lap. And it is the Greek god, as he's known in parts around this region, Midas. He makes his way through the final turn on those 13 lop-old medium tyres. He will complete this race, and it will be Apollo Pepsi will be the last one as he makes his way around. A little bit of a spinneroo, comes across sideways and says, "Thanks for racing, ladies and gents." What a finish. Brilliant. Brilliant work. Games driver of the day, Ferrari Pro. Made up a shit ton of positions after having that straight-on incident through turn 1, I think it was, or at least on lap 1. There we are, Big L. Job done. Ferrari Pro, job done. And the big spicy job done, rounding out your podium. 1, 2 and 3. To the adulation of the pit crew. Yeah, particles off, no champagne. Cheers, Big Ears is all we've got to say. Well, let's check in with these results. It was certainly close, out of nowhere. Plebs manages to make it back up. These guys punching on like you wouldn't believe. All jostling for position, trying to get the lovely run. Hopefully it'll keep the results for us. Don't do this game. Come on. Hello. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Results, please, game. Maybe not. That's just grand. Well, hopefully you guys have captured them, because I certainly didn't. Game doesn't like me. All right. Let's see what is going on. Brilliant racing. Brilliant racing from the lads. Not sure if we're going to get anyone joining us. I'm just going to sit around for a second. I'm not even going to call them in. If they want to come, they can come. If they don't, I'm going to give it 30 seconds. And we'll kill it there. What did you think of the race? Oh, it was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Great clean racing. And I think most of you guys have come to expect that from these drivers. They are not some of the best in our region for nothing, that is for sure. Well, I think we're going to leave it there. We'll kill it. Done and dusted. It is the Tyre Whisperer, Big L, bringing home the win from, I think it was Ferrari Pro, followed by Spicy. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Next week's a break week, actually. So next week we've got OFI on Tuesday night. And it's going to be the man who's normally sitting in here on a Tuesday night. He'll be working another Tuesday night next week. He'll be sitting in with George Morgan as they bring all the action to you from Zandvoort on Tuesday night. I'm pretty sure it's them too. Actually, I should check that before I open my big mouth. It is going to be drivers. Where are we? Sorry, it'll be Matt and George Morgan bringing Zandvoort from Tuesday night, and then on Thursday night, Noah, you're up, sunshine. I know something you've been looking forward to for a long time. Up to you and George to bring us home at the Temple of Speed Monza. Guys, thank you so much for joining in tonight. Hopefully you enjoyed that one. And enjoy the break week and enjoy OFI next week. Have a good one.